Hi everyone, it's me Almas, and again I'm here with a new episode of Coffee with Scientists or Coffee with Almas. My today's guest is Pakistani living in Australia. She's a scientist, and without missing a moment, I'm going to add her to this stream.
Hello.
Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam.
Zain Akram. So,
Yeah,
Zain, how are you?
I'm good. First of all, thank you so much for having me on your show. Yeah,
You're welcome. Thanks for accepting the request.
no
And finally,
worries.
we made it
Yeah, definitely.
because yeah, because I'm in Brazil and you're right now in Australia, so we have a
Yeah,
time difference of almost
13
11 to
hours.
12 hours.
Yeah, 13 hours
Okay,
difference we have. Yeah,
13 hours. Okay, so
yeah.
it's 9:30 in the morning here, and there it's
It's
10:30.
10:30. 10:30.
10:30.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Okay, so Zeni, tell us something about yourself, from where you are, about your background.
hmm Okay, my name is Zain Akram, and I'm a scientist, and I'm in Australia on the Australian government scholarship for the international students, and I'm doing my PhD over here. And my project is basically regarding to the drug discovery, and I'm screening like some natural compound libraries to find a compound which is like which would be a potentially a cure for the HIV later on. And as a background, like I done my undergraduate studies from like APICS, which is Air-based International Intercollege Sargodha, which is a Fazaya
Mm-hmm.
college. Now we call it as physics. And my like graduation is from Punjab University, and then my master's and my M.Phil is from University of Sargodha in chemistry, basically. But my M.Phil is like completely in biochemistry, like as a major. So I continue that one in as a PhD. So now I'm in School of Medicine over here in Griffith University, Australia.
Okay, great. So, how was that, how you thought about going abroad?
That's an interesting thing. Like my university is very near to my house. Like University of Sargodha is very near, across the road. Like so, I thought like I always like study like near my house. Like why not I go like somewhere outside? Because I went to the Punjab University. I know their environment. I thought like okay, it's time to go outside. And then I like look up like people like you and many other like ladies like who went outside. You guys are like inspiration for us. Like and I thought, okay. And I would say like my supervisor, like who was in my M.Phil, he also like pushed me and say me like that, okay, like you have a potential. Why not you try over there? So I applied for different opportunities, like different HSC scholarships and everything. And luckily I got that thing. So, and Alhamdulillah, my family is very supportive in this case. And they say like, okay, why not? It's not about like you have to get married and then you have to do PhD. They're very open to it.
Wow,
So I'm very
actually, you're
fortunate.
you're referring to I think two or three different problems that women or girls, back there home in Pakistan they face. So,
hmm
first thing that you said was that it was your own, will to do something different and go abroad. So this was your own decision. And
hmm
then you said something very important about family, that your family supported you. And the third thing you
Exactly.
said about the marriage. So these are three things that you were, you tackled together for going abroad. So what would you
hmm
like to say to those girls who are like, no, actually, mom is saying that I need to get married. No, oh my God, how I'm going to cross the road? Even in Australia, it will be, a different country, and how can I go there alone?
Exactly. I can relate what you are saying because I belong from the same society. That's the thing. But I would say like it depends all about like your mindset basically, and definitely our society will take a little bit time to just to trust on the like ladies part. Apart from the boys, because boys are going all the time. Even like Ideasm like went like very early over there, and everybody trusted that. But the
Yeah.
thing is, in case of like women, we are little bit like I would say like insecure in not in a bad way, in a good way. We want to protect our women. That's fine. But apart from that, like it's better like if our women also have the same awareness as the boys have. It ultimately will help to get married and run a good relationship later on. It's not about that like you get like independent and you have like your own school of thought. You will not listen to anyone. I will say then you will definitely have your own opinion and you know what is right and wrong for you. So my family, because like they are very educated and like they know about that this thing, that the importance of the studies, not only for the boys, for the women as well. So
Mm-hmm.
alhamdulillah. So they whatever I said to them, they asked me like, if you want and if you really want to do it, just go for it.
So how was the cultural differences? Obviously, Pakistan is a different culture. Then you went to Australia, and in Australia things they were different. So were you
Hmm.
already prepared for that? You did some kind of homework before going to Australia, or it was something like you went there and then you adapted yourself?
Okay, yeah, that's a very good question. I would say like in Pakistan, like my whole education is like co-education. It's not like I always studied in some like only the school or college which is only designed for the girls stuff. So from day one, I am in the co-education. So for in the university as well. So I think like it's not a big deal for us, for me as well, because I am always like in the same environment. Regarding like the difference, because over there, like your parents, your brothers, and your father has to like do things for you, but over here you have to do everything by yourself, which is good. I would say at least you take your own responsibility instead of like putting blames or something like on other
Mm-hmm.
people. So I believe like over here, the thing is this, you do not have to do self pity, you know, you have to say, okay, this is my decision. So I'm here because of myself. It's not like someone throw me into the hell and I have to like
Uh-huh.
do everything. It's just like, okay, this is my decision. I own it and I have to work for it and like show the world like, okay, that's the right decision for me. Just grow out of it and explore yourself what you want.
Wow, you said grow out of it and explore yourself. So
Exactly.
if you see yourself, I mean, Zani, at that time when you were thinking about, okay, maybe I can go to Australia, and then, Zani, at the right moment, how many
Uh-huh.
years you have been in Australia?
Around about like 4 years.
4 years. So what
Yeah,
are those differences that you see, in yourself today? That, okay, Zani back at that time was, different than today. Zani is different. And what aspect you think that you grew a lot?
hmm. In short sentence, I would say like no more dramas. That's very relatable. You can understand what I mean. But apart from like if I explain myself, I think like I am more confident in this stuff. Like okay, like I have like my doing list. I know what I have to do and how to manage the task. Because like it's not about, sometimes if you have some assignment or you have some task, so just keep in mind it's not only about the quality of that thing. You also keep this mind, the variable fact is the time. If time is ticking off, you have to submit that stuff. It's not like you just keep that stuff to yourself and just because this is not good quality, you can't throw it out. So these things like help me to like grow in every aspect, like either arranging the meetings, giving seminars, going to the conferences, interacting with the social people or like industry guys. Everything is working fine for me.
So you're a lot more confident, and I mean, what I got from what you said is that a women in such environment grows herself and knows how to act and react to different situations and how to be independent.
Exactly.
So how about Zeni? Is she adventurous? Because
Yeah, I think I explore my this side like in Australia, because like over here like I we have to work like 5 days in a week. Then there's a weekend. So there's a weekend mean like you have to like pamper yourself. You have to give treat to yourself. So if I consecutively work like for example like 1 month and on every weekend I'm still like working on my computer or like in my laboratory or everything, like I'm still in the studies. I make sure after 1 month I take a break and do something which like helps me to grow. So in my case, like I do different adventure stuff. Like for example, I like skydiving. I went for the scuba diving. I done bungee jumping. All these things just to get it, these things get relax my nerves. So I just like enjoy this thing. So I believe like I am little bit adventurous.
well, and what do you think if you would be in Pakistan, your parents would allow you to do especially bungee jumping or skydiving, scuba
No, no,
diving?
no, no, not at all. The thing is, when I told my mom after skydiving, like she was so much annoyed. She said, like, "What? Are you okay? Like, did you survive?" I said, "Yeah, that's why I'm talking to you." I know, like, they were a little bit like concerned about the security reason because in Pakistan all these facilities are not at that good quality. So I can understand. But over here, like they make sure like we have insurance for everything, whatever you are doing. So it's pretty much okay.
So I'm just remembering about my experience of scuba diving. The moment I
Okay.
was underwater, I felt myself like, oh my God, I
Mm-hmm.
have, signed a document saying that if something happens to me, so no one is going to be responsible. And I was like, oh my God, maybe I did a very wrong decision. There's a very different feeling. Yeah, it's not just about, going inside water. You feel that pressure and
Exactly. And the ear pressure, and the thing is that adrenaline rush. That thing is like so crazy. Like that's the enjoying part, I would say.
Okay, that's great. So you think that women they should go for such kind of different experiences and because back home I feel that in Pakistan women they are so much protected actually. So sometimes it's good to give them some space to grow by themselves and to learn new experiences. There are
I
many
agree with.
women they are very
I
much
agree.
scared as well for traveling about alone because they always want a company of someone.
Mm-hmm. That's true. Even like if you have one company, you can go with your friends over here as well. But the thing is this, you cannot like stop yourself just because you have nobody around you. So being as a PhD student is sometimes my like timings are completely different than my friends. They have different commitments. So I cannot like force everyone to come along with me. So in Pakistan, I believe like protection is itself is very important, but along with that self growth is very important. It's not about like that like you put a person in a freezer and then you expect like he is ready for every like danger in the world. So you have to give her a little bit experience and exposure so he able to handle that scenario by herself.
Mm-hmm. And actually,
That's
I
what I
think that
believe.
PhD itself is a kind of is a degree that makes you very much independent because sometimes you yourself are working on one project that actually maybe in the whole world just you are working. So it's not kind of those coursework disciplines that we used to have in our graduation and our masters where we could actually sometimes used to have combined study as well with our friends. Sometimes your PhD project itself is so unique to your own capabilities that just you need to focus on that, and you are the one who is a sole responsible person for those findings that you're going to have.
Yeah, definitely. I add in what you said. The thing is this, like I believe PhD is not a degree, it's a lifestyle basically. I really believe that because that's the main reason I didn't start my PhD in Pakistan because I think that the lifestyle that you own will later on become your part of personality. So in case of
Mm-hmm.
PhD, like I believe like you have to interact with the different people belong to different ethnicity. You are over here by yourself, all right, and then you have different sort of experiences by looking around. So I think because of that, if you are just working on one project, that's fine, but other than that, the exposure that you get by doing PhD from abroad is a completely different lifestyle, I will say. And it's up to the person like how they are like getting those vibes and including those things in his or her personality. It's only up to the person, so he or she must have a like a check and balance in herself, what is right and what is wrong, what my limitations are. So that self check would be very important in any person's life, I would say.
I really like what you said. PhD is a lifestyle, and I completely agree with that.
Oh, thank you.
So, Zen, tell me something about when you were in Pakistan.
Hmm.
You would also have some kind of thoughts that actually, when you came to Australia, they proved to be wrong. And
Hmm.
definitely, there in Australia as well, your friends, as you said, that you are in interaction with different people from different ethnicities. So they would
Hmm.
also be thinking about something like, okay, Pakistani girl would be like this and that, and now you change their image. So tell us something about the change of the image that you created and that you accepted as well.
Hmm. Okay, so like the lab I work over here, like there are different people, like from different like Nepal, India, like Sri Lanka, and like from Turkey, from Iran, like different people are from there. And most of them are like also still from Muslim countries. And I'm also from Pakistan, so which is also a Muslim country. So it's not only about like the Muslims, it's just about like the Pakistani like personality over there. So regarding me, like they have the opinion like the girls like do some burqas or some niqab stuff. So I believe like definitely in Pakistan girls do like that. But the thing is this, like it's not necessary like when you travel abroad and like you want to become an odd person, you know. In Islam they also said I do not like do some stuff which will attract the next person because you are doing something strange, you know. So it's better like just to opt or just be flexible, like which you can carry and you can just go around. So regarding Pakistan, they believe like that the person only guys can come abroad, girls never. Because in my whole department, I think I'm the only Pakistani girl over here
Wow.
who is doing the PhD over. So they really respect that. They know like I practice Islam as well. Like when we have Ramadan, we have Eid, we have different celebrations. So they also like congratulate me and bring like sweets from us. And the same thing when the Christmas is over there and we are celebrating with them as well. And for the Indians, we're celebrating the Holi. So this is very like common thing, and which is I think the good part of the living in a multi-dimensional cultural city, I would say.
Mm-hmm. Great. How about your family? They like it when you send them photos from Australia. What do they think? How is Zenny now?
Okay, like my mom is very concerned about it. Like she always makes sure like I am practicing Islam. Like she always like I remember like in recently like we have like Eid al-Zaha. Before like she always called me in Sehri, just like make sure like I am doing my Sehri, you know. So I make sure I make my Sehri and done my like start my roza like with a proper way. But like she know like I'm practicing very, very well. Apart from that, like it's not like that she's enforcing that thing. I think this is a
Mm-hmm.
part of my personality. I know this is good for me and I'm doing by myself. I actually want to practice. It's not like that I didn't like Islam or something. And religion is very personal. I think at some stage parents can force you. Later on, it's all about you. If I want to continue it, it's up to me. So like I believe like this is the best religion I have, and alhamdulillah, I'm very lucky to be part of Islam.
Big great. How about your family? You have, you are you have other siblings, or you're just single? Tell us something about your family if
Okay.
you want.
Yeah, sure. Like we are like three. Like I have two sisters, like including me. We are two sisters and one brother. I am the elder one, and I am the first person in my whole family who is becoming a PhD doctor. So my mom and my sister is like a MBBS, like medical doctor, and my brother is running a business over there. Yeah. So
So
that's all
you
about us.
are
The first one.
the you're the first one, the uppy one.
Yeah. Yeah. I
So what
feel
is the
very
uppy
proud
mode?
about that. Sorry, what?
Can you define uppy mode, because maybe many of our listeners, they are not from Pakistan, so they would like to know what an elder sister means actually in our culture. So what is your uppy mode?
Okay, I am very like connected to my sister, and like she considered me a little bit her mentor, like mentor in such a context. Like I am her go-to person. Like if she has some problem, she definitely ring me up and take my advice or suggestion, like what I think about that stuff. So when I came over here, like she was in the middle of her MBBS. So recently she get graduated, and then he was asking me what I have to do. So I just like call her up in Australia, and she came over here and just spent some time with me over here. And she visited like different hospitals just to see the environment over here. And it's just like to give an exposure to your family. So because like I can say something, they can listen. But by watching that and by really experiencing that thing, I believe that this is the right way to change the school of thought of the next person. Because maybe as one person, I have one opinion, and if you are looking on the same thing, you have a different opinion. So when my sister came in over here, and like he really like appreciated the quality of the life and the way like they were teaching over here, because I'm also teaching in the school of medicine over here. So she was very much impressed with the things, the way like we are giving lectures to the medical students.
So going towards the medical side, you said that your mother is a doctor.
Yeah.
So how you broke that trend? Because normally it's like if the parents are doctors, so kids they also tend to be, the same field.
Yeah,
So
they also push me a lot, but luckily I have we are two sisters. So I just like said that, okay, I'm not the right person, ask her to help you. No, I believe in the MBBS or like in the medical, like you don't have a life. Your life is like sacrifice for like a noble cause. I believe so. The field I am still like in a paramedic stuff, like because my whole research is based on the medical technology over here. So I think I am still relatable with that. But apart from that, I still have a life. I can do anything which I want on my own terms. It's not like, okay, someone's life is on the stake and I have to go and just leave my family. It's not like that. So I want this thing in my life.
So what would you like to say? Because you have seen a medical profession as well very closely, and you're also becoming a doctor right now, but I mean it's a PhD doctor.
Yeah.
So what would you like to say to the young generation who is listening to you? What we heard since our childhood was that okay, for girls, teaching and to become a doctor, this is the best profession. I mean, doctor means a medical doctor to serve in a hospital. So,
Yep.
what would you like to say about PhD? How is it as a career for women, and why girls should go for it?
Okay. So according to me, I believe no profession have any scope. It's only about the person. If your inner say that, like, okay, I have interest, I want to invest my whole energy and I'm able to pull this thing through my whole life, then go for it. There is no point to delay that thing. But first check yourself. Honestly, it's not about the family pressure, it's not about the social taboos, whatever. Just go with your gut feeling. If you know you are right, you can achieve it. So I will just say to the people who are listening this thing, like, just check yourself, see where your grades are coming in. If you're good in mathematics, go for that. Do not push yourself for the science. If you're good in like physics, try that. And if you are very good in like all the sciences and you think like you can pull that thing and you are ready to accept that hectic life, then I would say just MBBS is for you. Medicine is for you guys, not for me.
Why should people think about science? Even about parents as well. This is a concern that parents also they have, because there are very few parents who know how much science is important and uh, what's the situation of science going on in our country. It is something really alarming, actually.
Yeah, I believe like science and our everyday life cannot be separated. That's why like people, I believe like people have to choose the science as a career. So apart from that, like going only into the medicine, this is not the right thing. I believe that if a person chooses science as a career, there are lot of more options, or they broad their options in the selection of the career later on in life. They can switch on and switch off whatever they want. But if they want, when specifically in Pakistan, like if they choose the social sciences, there is very limited like opportunities and regarding the jobs over there. So I believe like if they like choose a science, at least they get the critical thinking, because science push you. Ask for the question. Do not accept like why I'm going to do this, why this is important to me. So this why gives you the opportunity to explore the proper way. It's not like, okay, mom said this thing, do it. My teacher said this, do it. Ask why I'm going to do this thing. What's the reason behind?
Exactly. And sometimes it's our responsibility as well to guide our own parents, because as we learn from them, they're also learning from us. Kids, especially younger generation, they become a bit disheartened that, oh my God, my parents are not encouraging me or they don't understand this. But the thing is, maybe sometimes it's the proper way that you need to adapt for explaining something to them in a proper way.
There are many ways to I would say that just like to get the help from the parents. It's not only about you have to get the help from the parents. Nowadays, like you can approach to any person. Just suppose if I want to become an engineer, I have to go and ask the people who are actually engineers, ask them what their opinion is, what the actual their life is, see that. And after that, just like they will help you how they convince their parents at that time. All right. And then you can just talk to your parents and ask them, okay, I check everything. I think I'm ready to do this thing. I need your positive response. If they say no, parents can be neutral, but they can never give you the negative vibes over there, I believe, because later on it's your life and you have to succeed and run it on your own terms. So I would say just like convince parents like in a proper and logical way, they will definitely listen to you.
Great. Zeni, so tell me something about your personal life. What do you do in your free time?
Oh, in my free
First
time,
of all, do you get some free time every day or it's just on
that's
weekends?
what I. That's why I like a shock you asked this question. Yeah, I definitely get some time. Like when I'm doing some cooking, at that time, I am a very like music person. I listen music of all types, all genres. Like
Okay, so you like music. By the end of this interview, I'm going to ask you to sing a song for us. Okay, so be
oh
prepared
no
for
no
that.
no no, I am a washroom singer. I'm not that type. Don't ask me.
We would like to still hear something from you. Okay, anyways.
Okay, you can
Okay.
help me in this.
Okay, now I'm going to start my one thing moment. So in one thing moment, you need to give me quick answers, as quick as you can. It
Okay.
can be just one word or one
Mhm.
sentence, but not more than that.
Okay,
So,
I will try.
one thing that you would like to tell to your fellow scientists all over the
Work
world:
hard. Work
work
hard.
hard.
Yeah.
One thing you would like to tell your family.
Trust your daughters.
Wow, thumbs up. One thing you would like to tell to the viewers in general here. I mean, people who are not scientists, who are not interested in science, anything.
Don't judge anyone until you don't know the real story.
Perfect. One thing that makes you proud of yourself.
Being as the first person from my family doing PhD abroad.
Wow. One person that contributed to what you are today.
My mother.
Your mother
Yeah.
is a role model.
Yeah, she is. She's always inspiring me.
I hope she's listening to this. One
I hope
most stupid question you're being asked from Pakistan.
so.
Are
One
there
thing, like,
many?
there are many. Like, I can choose the top one. Because my name is Zain and it's a boy's name, right?
Yeah, actually,
And
I myself,
exactly,
sometimes I call
exactly.
you Zanny.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
know that. But the thing is that, like, I applied, like, when I was talking and they said, like, Zen is a boy. And I said, like, no, excuse me, I'm a girl. And they said, like, okay. But it's very hard to convince this next person. Like, that's why on my, like, different places I mentioned, like, Zenny, not Zen. Zenny is my
Uh-huh.
nickname.
One thing you would wish never existed.
The gender discrimination, I
Okay, I will
believe.
go back to this
Mm-hmm.
gender discrimination. We need to talk about this. This is very important. The next question is your female role model in
Oh,
general. Can be a
in
scientist, non-scientist person.
yes, yeah, she's a scientist and like she's a chemist basically. Rosalind Franklin. I love her. She's really a
Nice to
true
know.
inspiration for me. Yeah.
And one skill that one person must have if he or she wants to become a scientist.
Uh, Self-confidence.
One thing that you can adopt for to kick out procrastination.
I believe like stop blame gaming.
If you get a crystal ball
Mm-hmm.
and you would like to change something in your life in future, what would be?
In future or like in my past?
Whatever you like. Can be in the
I
past,
don't
but I
know.
think in the past
I
cannot come
don't know
back.
about my future. I don't know about my future, but like in past, I believe like the one thing I would change. I will believe like my I would say the thinking little bit, thinking about like the different aspects of the life. I want to change that thing. It's wrong at that time.
Our one moment has been finished. The last question that I
Mm-hmm.
would like to ask you about gender discrimination. You just mentioned that you would like to, omit gender discrimination. How women in
Mm-hmm.
STEM they feel that gender discrimination. This is one question, and the second question is that what is that thing that back home in Pakistan it's a bit shocking or striking for you?
So over here, like gender discrimination is just like that. For example, like if two people, like if a male and a girl apply for one job position over there, like they prefer like the guy sometime just because of that, like they know how to manage the family commitments. Because girls later on has if he on her resume it's mentioned like he's unmarried or like he is going to be getting married or like he has some fiancé or the relationship. They believe like girls do not know how to manage their time. So because of that, girls do not have that in not getting enough opportunities. And and once if they hire a girl, the pay rate is less as compared to the men. The same working hours the girl is working, her pay is less as compared to the boys over there. So I believe like there should be no gender discrimination because I believe like girls are also doing the hard work as the boys are doing. In back in Pakistan, girls I would say struggling for their basic necessities of their life. Like even in a house, like you have to stand for what you want. Because if your brother wants something and they will say like okay go for it, but if you want then you have to like check every authority, you know, your mom, your father, your family, every stuff. So I believe like over in Pakistan, like girls has to be given this right just to take good decision for them.
Thank you very much, Zen. It was a pleasure having you here. It was one of the most wonderful interviews that I had
Thank
on
you so much for having me,
Coffee with
Almas.
Scientists. Thank you very
Thank
much.
you. Thank you.
I just signed out, but I remembered that there was a song that Zani was supposed to sing for all of us, as she has
But
a
you
hobby,
have to
you
help
know.
me. Yeah.
Okay, which song? Let's start.
uh, Dil Pakistan. Okay, let's start. Give me the
Okay,
line.
three,
One,
two, one.
two, one. Okay. Dil,
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 Pakistan,
Pakistan, ja,
Pakistan, ja,
ja,
ja, Pakistan.
Pakistan, dil,
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 Pakistan,
Pakistan, ja,
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 Pakistan.
Pakistan. Thank you very much,
Thank
Zen.
you.
Take care of yourself. And I'm going to
Thank you so
post
much,
link
Alma.
of your LinkedIn. So if any of our viewers would like to come in contact with you to ask some questions or have some guidance, so
I'm
everyone
happy
is
to take.
welcome.
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
happy to take that. Thank
Thank
you.
you very much. Take
Thank
care.
you.
Bye.
Bye bye.